In this video, we will learn how to find the moment of inertia of a composite section. So here we are asked to find the moment of inertia of an ice section about three different reference axes. The first one is about the horizontal axis passing through the base of the ice section. The second one is the horizontal axis passing through the centroid of the ice section. The last one is about the vertical axis passing through the centroid of the ice section. So we will solve this problem one by one. So this is the ice section which is given in the question. So this composite section consists of three simple rectangular sections. First rectangular section is the second rectangular section, and the last one is the third rectangular section. The topmost rectangular section is known as the top flange of the I-beam. The dimension is given as 60 mm by 10 mm. The bottommost rectangular section is known as the bottom flange of the I section. The dimension is 120 mm by 10 mm. And the section, rectangular section, which is between these two flanges, that portion is known as the web of the I section, and the dimension will be 100 mm by 10 mm. So first one, we will try to find the moment of inertia of this I section about the horizontal axis passing through the base of the section. So here, in order to find out the moment of inertia, the first step is to draw the axis which is passing through the base of the section. For that, I will be drawing the I section first. Then we need to draw the reference axis passing through the base of the I section. So our reference axis is denoted by xx. We need to find the moment of inertia of this I section with respect to this axis. Okay, so for solving that one, we will divide this I section into three rectangular sections like this: rectangular section 1, rectangle 2, and rectangle 3. Now, how will you find out the moment of inertia of this I section about the required reference axis? For that, we need to find out the moment of inertia of the first rectangular section about xx axis. Then we will find the moment of inertia of the second rectangle with respect to the reference xx axis. And then we will find the moment of inertia of the third rectangular section about the reference axis xx. After that, in order to find the moment of inertia of the composite section or moment of inertia of the I section, we will be using this formula. That is, moment of inertia of the I section about the xx axis is equal to moment of inertia of the first rectangular section about xx axis plus moment of inertia of the second rectangle with respect to xx axis plus moment of inertia of the third rectangular section about the reference xx axis. So we need to find the moment of inertia one by one. Now let us take the first rectangular section. So for that, we will remove the second rectangular section as well as the third rectangular section. Now here you can see the rectangular section, the dimension is 60 mm by 10 mm. Now we will mark the centroid of this rectangular section, which will be exactly at the center of the rectangle. That is G1. Okay, we know the moment of inertia of this rectangular section about an axis passing through the centroid, that is passing through G1, right? So I will draw the centroidal axis passing through the centroid of the section, which will be at a distance of 5 mm from the top of the rectangular section. We know the moment of inertia of this rectangular section about G1 x1, that is BD cube by 12. Now we need to find the moment of inertia with respect to another axis, that is the reference axis xx, which is parallel to this centroidal G1 x1 axis. So we can solve that by parallel axis theorem. What is parallel axis theorem? The moment of inertia of the first rectangular section about xx axis will be equal to moment of inertia of the first rectangular section with respect to its own centroidal xx axis, which is parallel to the reference xx axis, right? That plus area of the rectangular section into h1 square. What is h1? h1 is the distance between the centroidal x-axis and the reference xx axis, that is h1. So here h1 will be equal to 120 minus this distance 5. So that will be h1. So for rectangle 1, moment of inertia with respect to its own centroidal axis will be equal to BD cube by 12, which is equal to 60 into 10 cube by 12, which will be equal to 5000 mm raised to 4. Then area it is 60 into 10, which is equal to 600 mm square. H1, that is 120 minus 10 by 2, which is equal to 115 mm. Therefore, Ixx1 will be equal to this value 5000 plus area 600 into distance square 115 square, which will be equal to 7.94 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Now we will take the second rectangular section. So here we will remove the first rectangular section as well as the third rectangular section. Now we know how to locate the centroid of this second rectangular section, that will be exactly at the center. Then we can draw the centroidal axis passing through G2, which is parallel to the required reference axis XX axis, and this centroidal axis will be at a distance of 50 mm from the base of the second rectangular section. From the base it will be 50 mm. Okay. Now what is H2? H2 is the distance between G2 X2 and the axis about which we need to find the moment of inertia. That means the reference XX axis. What will be that distance? That will be 50 plus 10. So that is H2, right? Now what is IGX2? IGX2 is the moment of inertia of the second rectangular section with respect to its own centroidal x-axis. That will be BDQ by 12, right? So here for rectangle 2, IGX2 will be equal to BDQ by 12, which will be equal to, B is this one, 10 into depth 100 cube by 12, which is equal to 8.33 into 10 raised to 5 mm raised to 4. A2 will be 100 into 10, 1000 mm square, and H2 will be this distance between the two axes. So that will be 50 plus 10, which is equal to 60 mm. Therefore, Ixx2 will be 8.33 into 10 raised to 5 plus area 1000 into 60 square, which is equal to 4.43 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Now let us take the third rectangular section. So for that, again we will remove first rectangle and second rectangular section. So we will be having only one rectangular section. We need to find out the moment of inertia of this rectangular section about the reference XX axis. So I have marked the centroid of this third rectangular section, which will be exactly at the center, or which will be at a distance of 5 from the reference XX axis. Now what is G3X3? G3X3 is the centroidal x-axis, right? So we know the formula for finding out this third rectangular moment of inertia of the third rectangular section about this centroidal axis. That will be BDQ by 12. So for rectangle 3, IGX3 with respect to its own centroidal x-axis will be equal to BDQ by 12, which is equal to 120 into 10 cube by 12, which is equal to 10,000 mm raised to 4. Then A3, 120 into 10, that is 1200 mm square. And what is H3? H3 is the distance between these two axes. So that will be 10 by 2, which is equal to 5 mm. Therefore, Ixx3 is equal to 10,000 plus 1200 into 5 square, which will be equal to 40,000 mm raised to 4. So there is one more method for finding out the moment of inertia of the third rectangular section about XX axis. Here in this figure, you can see that XX axis is passing through the base of the rectangular section. So we have already learned the moment of inertia of a rectangular section about an axis passing through the base. We have the formula, right? So we can use that formula for finding out the moment of inertia. So that will be Ixx3 is equal to, what is that formula? BDQ by 3, right? If we want to find the moment of inertia of a rectangular section about an axis passing through the base, we can use this formula also. So this will be equal to 120 into 10 raised to 3 by 3, which is equal to 40,000 mm raised to 4. So you can use any one of this method for finding out the moment of inertia of the third rectangular section about the reference XX axis. So we have obtained Ixx1, Ixx2 and Ixx3. So how will you find out the moment of inertia of the I section about the required XX axis? Using the formula Ixx is equal to Ixx1 plus Ixx2 plus Ixx3. So that will be, the first one is 7.94 into 10 raised to 6 plus, this is the second one, 4.43 into 10 raised to 6. The last one is 40,000. So this will be equal to 12.41 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Now let us find the moment of inertia of an I section about the horizontal axis passing through the centroid. So the steps to be followed for finding out the moment of inertia will be same as the first one. The only difference is the reference axis will be passing through the centroid of the eye section. So what will be the first step? We need to locate the centroid of the eye section first. Then only we will be able to draw the axis passing through that centroid. So here I have drawn the eye section. Then we need to draw the reference axis. So if you want to draw the reference axis, we need to know the centroid of this eye section. So I am going to draw a vertical line passing through the center of the eye section like this. So you can see that the eye section is symmetrical about this line. That means CG lies anywhere on this line. So it can be anywhere on the vertical line, right? So I am going to assume that G is somewhere here. So G denotes the centroid of the eye section. Okay. Now, once you locate the centroid, now you can draw the horizontal axis passing through the centroid. This is our reference x-axis. So in this question, we need to find the moment of inertia of the eye section about this reference axis. Hope you understood this one, right? Now, as I have told earlier, the steps to be followed is same. So here we need to divide the eye section into three simple rectangular sections. Rectangular section 1, rectangular section 2 and rectangular section 3. Now how will you find out the moment of inertia? Same, Ixx will be equal to Ixx1. You need to find the moment of inertia of the first rectangle with respect to this reference axis, with respect to this one. Okay, now you need to find the moment of inertia of the second rectangular section about x-axis. Similarly, you need to find the moment of inertia of the third rectangular section about this x-axis. Then using the same formula, Ixx is equal to Ixx1 plus Ixx2 plus Ixx3. We will be able to find the moment of inertia of the eye section about the required centroidal x-axis. Clear? In order to locate the centroid, we need a reference axis. So for the same, I have drawn a reference x-axis passing through the base of the eye section, and we are going to find the distance of G from this reference axis, which is marked here as y bar, and using this formula, y bar is equal to a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3. We can find out the distance. So here I am not going to explain the procedure for finding out the centroid of the eye section. We will be using this tabular format, and using the formula y bar is equal to sigma ai yi by sigma ai. We will get the value as 48.21 mm from x-axis. So you can mark the centroid first. So which will be at a distance of 48.21 mm from the base of the rectangular section, or it will be at a distance of 120 minus 48.21 mm. That is 71.79 mm from the top of the rectangular section. So I have marked the centroid of this eye section. Once the centroid is marked, you can draw the reference axis passing through that G. So this is our reference axis XX. Now the first one is we need to locate the moment of inertia, or we need to find out the moment of inertia of the first rectangular section about the reference x-axis. For that, I have removed the second rectangular section and the third rectangular section. We have only one rectangular section now, and we are going to find out the moment of inertia of the first rectangular section about x-axis using parallaxis theorem. So for that, we have to mark the centroid of the rectangular section, that is G1. Then you can draw the axis which is parallel to this reference axis passing through the centroid, which is marked here as G1x1. We know the moment of inertia of this rectangular section about this centroidal x-axis, that is BD cube by 12. So with the help of parallaxis theorem, you can find out the moment of inertia with respect to the reference x-axis. So what is h1? H1 is the distance between the centroidal x-axis and the axis about which we need to find the moment of inertia. So this distance is h1. So how will you find out h1? We know this distance, right? From from the top of the rectangular section to the centroidal, from the top of the rectangular section to the reference x-axis axis, it is 71.79, and we know this distance also. What is this distance? It will be 10 by 2. So h1 will be equal to 71.79 minus this top distance, that is 5. That will be h1. Now using the parallel axis theorem, you can find out the moment of inertia. So for rectangle 1, Ixx1 is equal to Igx1 plus A1h1 square. So what is Igx1? That is BD cube by 12, or which will be equal to 60 into 10 cube by 12, which is equal to 5000 mm raised to 4. A1 is 60 into 10, that is 600 mm square, and h1 will be 71.79 minus 10 by 2, which is equal to 66.79. So Ixx1 is equal to this value 5000 plus area 600 into this distance square, which will be equal to 2.68 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Now, in order to find the moment of inertia of the second rectangle, we need to remove the first as well as the third rectangular section, right? So G2 will be somewhere here, right? G2 will be exactly at the center of the rectangular section. So what will be this distance from here to here? That will be, you know, the height of this web. What is that height? That is 100 mm. So G2 will be 50, half of that, right? So it will be 50 mm from this point. From the base of the rectangular section, it will be 50, or from here it will be how much? 50 plus 10, that is 60, right? So this is the centroidal x-axis axis. That distance will be 50 plus 10, that is 60 mm. I hope you understood that value. So what is h2? h2 is the distance between the reference x-axis axis and the centroidal G2 x2 axis. So how will you find out this distance? h2, distance between these two axes. You know this distance, that is 60, and you know this distance also. So 60 minus 48.21 will give you h2. So it is easy to find out the value of h2 also. So the distance between the two reference axes can be calculated like this. So for rectangle 2, Ixx2 is equal to Igx2 plus A2h2 square. So what is Igx2? Igx2 is equal to BD cube by 12, which is equal to 10 into 100 cube by 12, right? 10 into d cube. So 100 cube by 12, which is equal to 8.33 into 10 raised to 5 mm raised to 4. Then A2 is 100 into 10, that is 1000 mm square. H2 60 minus 48.21, which is equal to 11.79 mm. So what is Ixx2? Ixx2 is equal to 8.33 into 10 raised to 5 plus area 1000 into distance square 11.79 square, which is equal to 0.972 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Now similarly, we are going to find out the moment of inertia of this third rectangular section. Yeah, so you can mark the centroid of the third rectangular section that will be passing, that will be exactly at the center of the third rectangle. So you can mark the centroidal G3x3 axis also. We know the formula for finding out the moment of inertia about its own centroidal x-axis axis. Now in order to find the moment of inertia with respect to another axis, that is x-axis axis, which is parallel to G3x3, we can use the parallel axis theorem. Now what is h3? h3 is the distance between these two, right? So you know the distance of xx from the base, that is 48.21, and you know this distance also. What is this distance? G3 will be exactly at the center, so this distance will be 10 by 2. So how will you find out the distance between these two axes? That will be 48.21 minus this 5, right? So that will be h3. So for rectangle 3, Ixx3 is equal to Igx3 plus A3h3 square. So Igx3 is equal to BD cube by 12, which is equal to 120 into 10 cube by 12, or that will be 10,000 mm raised to 4. Then A3 will be 120 into 10, which is equal to 1200 mm square. H3 will be 48.21 minus 10 by 2, which is equal to 43.21 mm, or Ixx3 is equal to 10,000 plus 1200 into 43.21 square, which is equal to 2.25 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Now we have Ixx1, Ixx2 and Ixx3. So you can find out the final moment of inertia of the composite section about the centroidal x-axis using the formula Ixx is equal to Ixx1 plus Ixx2 plus Ixx3, which is equal to 2.68 into 10 raised to 6 plus 0.972 into 10 raised to 6 plus 2.25 into 10 raised to 6, which will be 5.9 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Now, the last one, we need to find the moment of inertia of the I section about the vertical axis passing through the centroid. So, in this case also, in order to draw the reference vertical axis, we need to mark the centroid. And for the I section, the centroid of the I section will be somewhere here. So, I have marked the centroid of the I section as capital G. When you draw a vertical line passing through the center of the I section, that will be symmetrical, right? So, CG will be on this line itself. So, when you try to mark the centroid of the first rectangle, we can see that the CG will be lying on this line, on this vertical axis. Right? When you try to mark the centroid of the second rectangle, again you can see that the centroid of the second rectangular section also will be lying on this line itself. Similarly, the centroid of the third rectangular section also will be lying on the same vertical line. So, G1 will be here, G2 will be somewhere here, and G3 also will be here. So, here in this case, since all the centroids of all the symbol figures lies on the reference YY axis, we need not use the parallaxis theorem, right? So, we can directly substitute the formula for finding out the moment of inertia. Now, here how will you find out the moment of inertia of the I section? It will be moment of inertia of the first rectangular section about YY axis plus moment of inertia of the second rectangle with respect to YY axis plus moment of inertia of the third rectangle with respect to the YY axis. So, it will be Iyy is equal to Igy1 plus Igy2 plus Igy3. So, let us take the first one. What is Igy1? Igy1 will be equal to b cube d by 12. We have already learned this formula. So, which will be equal to 60 cube into 10, right? B is this one, there is 60 cube into 10 by 12, which is equal to 180,000 mm raised to 4. Igy2 will be equal to bd cube by 12, which is equal to 10 into d. D is 100. So, 10 cube into 100 by 12, there is 8,333.33 mm raised to 4. The last one is Igy3, which is equal to 120 cube into 10 by 12, which is equal to 1440000 mm raised to 4. So, finally, moment of inertia of the I section about the centroidal YY axis will be equal to sum of all these values, right? So, 180,000 plus 8,333.33 plus 1,440 into 1000 mm raised to 4, which is equal to 1.63 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4.